Hey, what's happening, guys? So basically I've got the SP2. We've removed the rapid bike system off it. We were having problems. It was very vintage, so you could only tune from 3000 up. It was like the first rapid bike ever came out. That's a piggyback tuning system. So I'm busy. We couldn't get a Powercommander 5, so I'm using SV650 Powercommander 5. Busy wiring it in. So this bike runs 4 injectors. I'm only using 2 of them to do the work I need to do. So I'm going to end up basically installing a wire from the ECU to the Powercommander to set up water temperature so that I can do a cold start function as well. Okay, so we also have another problem as well, and that is that I noticed that the throttle sensor at the bottom, just let me get it to, where's my torch hiding? Yeah, okay, got him. So the throttle sensor that sits down there is supposed to measure 0.6 on closed throttle and 4.8 on open throttle, and you'll see what's happening here. It's measuring 1.3 on closed throttle and it's going over 5 volts on full throttle. So you can see there, so that's not going to be good. That can also cause the problem the client's having. He's saying when it's cold, you just can't get this bike started. So he wants the bike tuned, so that's why I'm fitting the Powercommander, but I also have to get to the bottom as to why this thing doesn't want to start when it's cold, and that's what I found. So that makes perfect sense, because obviously your throttle sensor sends a signal through to the ECU. The ECU in turn tells the injector spray X amount of fuel. So on closed throttle it should have a certain idle mixture, and now it's obviously way too rich. So that's probably why it's just smothering out and it's laboring, and people say when they ride behind him they just smell reeking fuel. So we're going to try and attend to that. Still link up my TPS, but yeah, just busy doing all this. Obviously normally when you purchase a Powercommander it's just plug and play. This time we are thinking outside the box here, and I'm just wiring it all in. I've done it a couple times before. It's not ideal, but I'm basically just running this as primary injectors, secondary injectors, so that at least I can just tune like that. Then I still get the job done, but I don't have to worry about the second injectors because I'm using a 2-cylinder Powercommander, and that'll obviously pick up RPM off the injection pulse. So yeah, that's all that. Stay tuned. I just want to get all this fixed up and calibrated. Okay, so let's take a look here. Just give it a sec. Okay, you see, so now it's basically 0.8.7. Open it up and we're sitting at 4.83, so that's perfect. That is set up correctly. That's within the tolerance. So I'm just going to get the Powercommander finished being wired in, get everything hooked up, make sure everything works, and then it's off to the dyno. Okay, so we got our TPS all set up. You can see there it's basically a 0.6, and then if we open the throttle up, it runs up to 4.9, so that's fine. So that's working all in spec. Now we can set everything else up and see how it goes. Okay, so we've got our VTR1000SP2. I've installed the Powercommander, I've adapted it all into the wiring. There she is. So let's see if she works. I'm going to put the key on. We just want to calibrate. You see on our TPS voltage now is 0.6. We were at 1.3, which was wrong. So we calibrate our closed throttle, and then we just need to do open throttle. Let's just check what our voltage is. So 4657, eh? So let's just do that. 4.657. Okay. So let's just check how our throttle works. 0%, 100%. See? All good. So that's all working now, calibrated. So I can find my temperature input on my ECU, wire it into my port 2 analog on the Powercommander, calibrate all the values up in, let's see, calibrate. We want to configure engine temperature. So you see, I can enable this and I can calibrate this off an analog voltage, and I can set up a voltage chart. So I just need to get these specs, voltage over temperature. So I'll find that on the manual and then calibrate that, and then we will have temperature added in. So I'll have a separate map up here that I can add, let's say 10% of fuel to get this thing started. It's a bit of a pig in the morning. Well, apparently I've had no problems, but it's a pig in the morning. And we'll just set that up, and yeah, that's that. So stay tuned, we'll get it up on the dyno, then we're going to independently map each cylinder. So what I've done here is I have put in an O2 bung there. So that's titanium, that exhaust. You can see it's being welded by someone else, not me. I wish I could weld titanium like that, but there's one. And let's take a look here. There's our rear cylinder. So we're going to sample 2 O2s. We're going to set them up independently. I did bring in an auto tuner from home. There it is there. So I'll use that to kind of do my initial fine tune, and then I'll basically do my base changes the way I like it, where I run it 60, 80, 100, and then I check my fueling curve, make my manual changes. So yeah, stay tuned. This is going to be a good one, guys. Yeah, we're back in the dyno with the VTR. So as we explained, I've put in the Powercommander 5, I've got my auto tuner hooked up here. We're just busy setting up our trim table. So what I'm going to do is I'm first going to just tune it a bit under load, so that at least I can populate some form of map. Let me just get up my trim map, just give me a sec. Okay, so basically we've got our trim map there, which I've set up. So we're running sort of 13.6 low down, so we've got nice idle, everything. We just kind of run it richer, you can see here. So it starts off at 13.8 and on idle, and then kind of runs down into 13.1. I kept it at 13.1 on the whole map. You know, on a bike that's really like abused, I would run sort of 12.8 on top. But these bikes are, you know, like notorious for like slight inconsistencies in the fuel mixture, so I'd rather just run it slightly towards the leaner side. Yeah, it's something special. This bike's got carbon fiber BSTs, Brembo calipers, carbon fiber mudguards. It's had a set of modified race fairings fitted, so you can see they've kind of like done a whole like endurance race setup on it. It's got the speedo healer, which I calibrated previously. So yeah, nice bike. Let's get going on it, eh? Okay, so we're all done with our Powercommander tune. That's Powercommander 5. We did a split cylinder map on the bike. Obviously this bike has open air box, so yeah, there's a few niggly little spots I wasn't entirely happy with, so I actually ended up using the accelerator pump feature to minus some fuel out when you get on the gas, because it was just that little bit of like a immediate sort of dip rich, you know. So at least when you move the throttle, you know, it was just backing that out and keeping it in a nice safe air fuel ratio. So I actually used like sort of minus 15 on the accelerator pump to pull fuel out. So we set it from about 40% throttle, you know, which seemed to sort it out nice and smooth. Let's take a look at our results. So obviously you can see this is base stock. So stock was 116 horsepower, 97 Newton meters. And then we've obviously mapped it up. So those are 2 cylinders. Standard was absolutely so rich. I just wrote there it was 10-to-1. It was off the charts. So you couldn't even, I mean, it was actually just dipping way rich. So, I mean, I didn't even want to basically log a good fueling curve. So I just scrapped that out. But yeah, 130 horsepower, 104 Newton meters. You can see a nice smooth fueling curve and a massive gain the whole way up the rev range. So that's based on stock. We obviously had the Rapid bike on here before, but if I compare it to what I did with the Rapid bike, it was about 4 horsepower gain. So it wasn't a huge amount, because the Rapid bike was able to tune the fueling on top, same as the Powercommander. So all we've done is we've split off so that we could have our temperature wired in. And then also this Powercommander has startup fueling. So like in dead winter, the bike battles to start, I can just add a bit more fuel just to get it to fire up and go. But yeah, nice bike all done. We'll see what we're going to do on our next video. Yeah, stay tuned. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Thanks for all the support. I hope you're enjoying my videos. Feel free to leave some comments, you know, and have your views. You know, that's what it's about, you know. Anyway, take care, guys.